Hello students, welcome to the session 1 of your first PUC NCERT chapter number 20, that is locomotion and movement. So when it comes to locomotion and movement, these two are two different concepts, where locomotion means the whole body moves from one region to another region or from one place to another place, whereas movement means it is movement of your hand, movement of your legs with the help of different types of muscles which are present in your body. So for locomotion or for movement, it requires two different components. One will be the muscles, another will be the skeletal system. So in this chapter, we will study about the different types of muscles involved which helps in the locomotion or movement. So when it comes to muscles, these are excitable, these are elastic in nature, these are contractible and extensible in nature. Almost 40 to 50% of our body, it is made up of muscles. Based on the location where these muscles are present, they can be classified into three different types. First one is smooth muscles. Second one, skeletal muscle. And the third one is cardiac muscle. Smooth muscles, these are involuntary muscles present in the organs or organ system. These are spindle shaped, have an outer layer called sarcolemma and inner component called sarcoplasm. When it comes to skeletal muscles, these are present attached to the skeleton and are having alternate dark and light bands with peripheral nucleus. So these help in locomotion, especially movement of hands as well as legs. When it comes to cardiac muscles, these are branched muscles present in the heart, as the name suggests, cardiac. These are having alternate dark and light bands just like skeletal muscles, but here the nucleus is present in the center. They are separated from each other with the help of a intercalated disc. You have studied about all these three different types of muscles in chapter structural organization and of animals. So in this one, we will have to concentrate on the skeletal muscles which are involved in locomotion and movement. Next is structure of skeletal muscle. So when it comes to structure of skeletal muscle, if you see the skeletal muscles, When it comes to skeletal muscles are normally having large number of muscle bundles. If you consider this is a skeletal muscle, it is made up of multiple muscle bundles. These muscle bundles are called fascicles. Skeletal muscles are made up of large number of muscle bundles called fascicles, which are held together by a connective tissue called fascia. So, skeletal muscles are made up of large number of muscle bundles called fascicles, which are held together by a connective tissue called fascia. This has an outer layer which we call sarcolemma, which forms the plasma membrane of the skeletal muscles. Within the sarcolemma, it contains the cytoplasmic component called sarcoplasm. This sarcolemma, which encloses sarcoplasm within, which contains multiple nucleus. We have seen that they have peripheral nucleus arranged in the skeletal muscles. So, as they have multiple nucleus within the sarcoplasm, they are termed syncytium. What is a syncytium? A syncytium means a cell which contains multiple nucleus. So, sarcolemma enclosing the sarcoplasm contains multiple nucleus or many nuclei, which is why they are termed syncytium. So, now within the skeletal muscles, it is again made up of small filaments called myofibrils. And they also, just like other cells, they also contain some of the cell organelles. Like in a normal cell we have endoplasmic reticulum, but here it contains sarcoplasmic reticulum. The sarcoplasmic reticulum has the function of storing the calcium ions, which helps during contraction and relaxation of muscles. So, that is about the skeletal muscles. Once again to discuss, skeletal muscle is made up of large number of muscle bundles called fascicles, which are held together by a connective tissue called fascia. The outer layer or the plasma membrane of the skeletal muscle is called sarcolemma, and it contains the cytoplasmic component called sarcoplasm. This sarcoplasm contains multiple nuclei, that is why it is termed syncytium. And just like any other cell, these also do have cell organelles, but the cell organelle here it is termed sarcoplasmic reticulum. It is similar to that of endoplasmic reticulum. The function of sarcoplasmic reticulum is to store the calcium, which helps during contraction and relaxation of muscles. Apart from this one, when skeletal muscles are cross section, you can see some of the thin filaments which are termed myofilaments. These myofilaments contains dark and light bands, just like the skeletal muscles alternate dark and light bands with contractile proteins, which helps in contraction and relaxation. You can in simple words say that myofibrils contain the structural and functional unit of the skeletal muscles, which we call sarcomere. This helps in contraction and relaxation with the help of contractile protein present in them. So, a sarcomere means it is the structural and functional unit of the skeletal muscles, which are present in the myofibrils. These myofibrils are present within the skeletal muscles. So, we will study about the diagrammatic representation of sarcomere and come to know about the parts of sarcomere. A sarcomere, it is made up of contractile proteins that is termed actin and myosin. These both contractile proteins are distributed in the sarcomere, which helps in formation of a dark and light band, that is which is present alternatively. When it comes to the sarcomere structure, here the light band which contains actin molecules are termed I band or isotopic, or they are also called light bands. When it comes to dark band, these are called A band or anisotropic or dark band. So here the arrangement of light bands and dark bands are always alternate to each other. So we will study about the I band now. When it comes to I band is the light band which contains actin molecules. This actin molecules in between or in the center have a dark region which is called a Z line. It is present one after other. So here it will be again A band, and this side also it will be again A band. Below comes once again the A band, above comes once again the A band. It is a continuous structure which forms alternatively dark and light bands. So now when it comes to the I band, it is the light band containing actin molecule which has in the center has a darker region called Z line, and in between the two I bands it contains sandwiched dark band or A band or anisotropic band or a band which contains myosin molecules. This A band which is darker in color will be having a lighter region called M line. So here the arrangement of I band and A band will be alternatively present from each other. So the distance between two Z line is called a sarcomere. So what does a distance between two Z line in a sarcomere include? It includes half of the I band from each of the Z line and a complete A band will be included. So if the sarcomere or if the muscle is in its relaxed state, then you can see a H zone here. It is a space from which the observer can observe a part of A band and a complete I band. That is what is called a H zone. This is when the muscles are in relaxed state. So when it comes to sarcomere, sarcomeres are the structural and functional units of skeletal muscles. It includes dark and light bands which are present alternatively to each other. The light bands include actin molecules which are also called I bands or isotropic bands or light bands. And dark bands, it includes A band, anisotropic band, or they are having myosin molecules. When it comes to their arrangement, the I band is present in such a way that it has a dark line in between which is called Z line, whereas A band which is having a light portion in the center which is called M line. The distance between two Z line, it is called a sarcomere, and the space between the I band from where you can observe the part of A band, that is termed H zone. This H zone can be observed when it is in its resting state. So that is about the structure of sarcomere. Next we will have to study about the structure of contractile proteins. Here on the board you can see the structure of contractile proteins, that is actin as well as myosin. So when it comes to actin, it is a polymer structure which is made up of chains, that is protein chains which is wound together. So here it is a polymer of F actin. So this F actin contains monomeric G actin. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಹಗ್ಗ ತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಒಂದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸುತ್ತಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಇಡೀ ಚೈನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಎಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಚೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫೈಬ್ರಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್, ಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಲೊಬ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್, that is which is round in structure. So the individual structure is called G actin and the chain of this individual structure is termed F actin. So this G actin in the center has a active site. This active site helps in muscle contraction. Next, when it comes to the rest structure of actin, these two polymer of F actin are held together by a thread like structure which is called trophomyosin, and this trophomyosin at alternate regions have a structure called trophonin. This trophonin helps during contraction and also contributes during relaxation process. When the muscle is in its relaxed state, ಈ trophonin molecules ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, they bind the active site of the G actin. That is the function of trophonin. When the muscles are in their relaxed state, the active site of the G actin will be closed or masked by trophonin, which indicates that there is no muscle contraction taking place. Once again, to discuss, actin molecules are made up of polymeric proteinaceous chain called F actin. The individual structure in the F actin is termed G actin. This G actin has a centrally placed site called active site to which the myosin head normally binds during muscle contraction. Next, apart from these two polymer, they are also held together by a thread like structure called trophomyosin. This trophomyosin at alternate ends contains of structure called trophonin. This helps during contraction and relaxation. Especially when the muscles are in relaxed state, G actin active site anna ಈ trophonin molecules ಹೋಗಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, so that there is no muscle contraction during the relaxation of the muscles. That is about the actin contractile protein. Next is about myosin. So if you see myosin, it is also a protein structure. If you see here, myosin has a tail like structure and a head like structure. If you observe the shape properly, it appears to be just like a golf stick. So this head, it is also called heavy meromyosin. And when it comes to this structure, it is also called light meromyosin. The upper one is called heavy meromyosin and the lower one is termed light meromyosin. So head region, it has two sides, that is there are two chains here, two heads and two tails, which are tightly closed together. In the head region, there is centrally placed ATP binding site. So myosin requires ATP for muscle contraction. ATP will be utilized and they will give out ADP plus inorganic phosphate, and the energy will be utilized during muscle contraction. Whereas at the head tip, they have actin binding site. This is the region which binds with the active site of the G actin in actin contractile protein during muscle contraction. Those actin binding sites are present at the tip of the myosin, whereas ATP binding site, it is present in the center region. So here myosin, it is made up of a tail like structure and head like structure. So the tail and head will be perpendicular to each other. So they stand like this, where this is the tail and this is the head, which helps during muscle contraction. So the tail is also termed light meromyosin and head is also called heavy meromyosin. When it comes to the head region, they have two binding sites. In the center, they have actin binding site, which helps in binding the ATP and helps in muscle contraction. Whereas the tip, it contains actin binding site. This actin binding site of myosin binds to the active site of the G actin and helps in muscle contraction. That is about the two different types of contractile proteins which is present in the skeletal muscle. Next, we have to study about muscle contraction. So during muscle contraction, now if you imagine that this is the A band, that means it includes myosin proteins. Here comes the tail, here comes the head, above which alternatively there is present A band. Now when there is necessity that the muscle contraction takes place, what happens in the body is the message will be sent from the brain, that is the central nervous system. The message will be sent from the central nervous system, it will be transferred into the motor neurons. It is transferred into the motor neurons. From motor neurons, it will be transferred into the muscles. So the message initiates from central nervous system, passes into motor neurons, which release chemicals called acetylcholine into the muscle. When the signals reach the muscle, in the muscle it contains of sarcoplasmic reticulum. This sarcoplasmic reticulum will start to release the calcium ions. They release the calcium ions into the sarcoplasm. Once the calcium is released into the sarcoplasm, this sarcoplasm will go and bind to the troponin of the actin molecule. ಈ ಟ್ರೋಫೋನಿನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಜೊತೆ ಬೈಂಡ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇದು ಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೈಟನ್ನು ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನೌ ಫ್ರೀ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಟ್ರೋಫೋನಿನ್ ಇಸ್ ನೌ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಜೊತೆ ಟ್ರೋಫೋನಿನ್ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೌ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ದ ಮಯೋಸಿನ್ ಹೆಡ್, especially the actin binding site, binds to the active site of the actin molecules. Once there is binding, there is bridge cross arm formation. Once the actin binds with the myosin head, there is a cross bridge formation taking place and ATP will be utilized. It gets converted into ATP plus, it gets converted into ADP plus inorganic phosphate. That means it is an active process where the energy is consumed or utilized, and then there will be muscle contraction. So what happens is, if this is the actin site and this is the myosin site, what happens during muscle contraction, the cross arm will bind to the actin site and pull it like this. For this pulling, it requires energy and that is supplied by the ATP. That is how muscle contraction takes place. ಸೊ ಮಸಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಲು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮೋಟಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ಗೆ. ಮೋಟಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಎಸಿಟೈಲ್ಕೋಲಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಎಸಿಟೈಲ್ಕೋಲಿನ್ ಮಸಲ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ನಲನ್ನು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಮಸಲ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ನಲನ್ನು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ನ ಸಾರ್ಕೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಕ್ ರೆಟಿಕ್ಯುಲಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂಗಳು ಸಾರ್ಕೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ಗೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಾರ್ಕೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ಗೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂಗಳು ಇವಾಗ ಟ್ರೋಫೋನಿನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ನ ಟ್ರೋಫೋನಿನ್ ರೀಜನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೈಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಟ್ರೋಫೋನಿನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಜೊತೆ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದು ಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೈಟನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟುಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೌ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ದ ಮಯೋಸಿನ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಟು ಇಟ್. ವೆನ್ ದ ಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ, now the myosin head comes and attaches to the actin molecules and it helps in contraction. That is how the muscle contraction takes place. Now what are all the changes that takes place in the sarcomere anta study ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Sarcomere means it is the components which come between two Z lines. That is what is a single sarcomere. Now what are the changes that takes place in the sarcomere can be explained by a theory which is called sliding filament theory. Now if you see this sarcomere, it is having two Z lines which I have drawn in orange, and blue lines represents the I band which contains actin molecule, and the green band or A band which represents the myosin molecules. During contraction what happens is, this myosin will go and now bind to the actin molecules on either sides, on all the sides, all the four sides, two up and two down. On all the four sides, the myosin head attached on all the four sides, the myosin head goes and attaches to the actin molecules. That means myosin head actin binding site attaches to the active site of the G actin. Once there is attachment taking place between A band and I band, the myosin head, so now imagine that the myosin head is present like this for this side, and for opposite side it will be like this. So let us imagine that the myosin head is like this. Once it attaches to the actin side, they will start to pull them from opposite sides, from upper side as well as from lower side. Once the pulling process takes place, the I band will start to come closer. They will not dash with one another, instead they will start to overlap one another. That takes place in this process where the myosin attached to the actin, once they are attached, they will start to pull them from the opposite sides for muscle contraction. So now you can clearly observe a head zone, that is the space which is present between two I bands from which A band can be observed. Next, during contraction, what happens? Calcium will be released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. That calcium goes and binds to the troponin, which leaves the active site of actin free so that the myosin head can attach now. Next process is when there will be contraction, ATP will be binded to the center ATP binding site of myosin, then they will pull, as I have told, the I bands from opposite sides. When the I bands are pulled from opposite sides, they overlap one another. You can clearly see in the diagram, they can overlap one another, and H zone here is completely missing. The length of the sarcomere, which was far away, will be now reduced, and H zone is not at all visible anywhere. That is how there will be contraction. Now what happens during relaxation? When there is relaxation, the sarcoplasmic reticulum releasing the calcium will start to reduce. Calcium sarcoplasmic reticulum in the reduce ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ troponin molecules ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, they will not be now engaged with the calcium, they are free. So what happens? The troponin will come and start masking the active site of the actin. The myosin head detaches from the actin active site, and the actin active site is now masked by troponin, which leads to separation of the sarcomere and getting back it into original position, producing relaxation of muscles. That is how muscle contraction as well as muscle relaxation takes place, and this theory where the sarcomere size will be reduced and head zone will be completely vanished, which is termed sliding filament theory. That is about the concepts regarding chapter locomotion and movement. In this chapter, we did discuss regarding different types of muscles, especially skeletal muscles, their components, the myofibrils, presence of dark and light bands, the components or contractile proteins which are present in dark and light bands like actin and myosin, structure of actin and myosin, contribution of these contractile proteins in muscle contraction, as well as the sliding filament theory. That's all in this particular chapter. I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you.